welcome you deep divers to another custom tailored deep dive. This is where we take your sources and really dig in to find those valuable nuggets of insight. Today, we're plunging into something pretty interesting. It's a script from an English learning podcast. It's called What's Going On at the Office? Real English for Work Situations. And it promises to give learners, the real English you hear in everyday office life, getting past those boring textbook phrases, as they put it. So our mission really is to unpack this learning material. What's it actually telling us about sounding, well, not just correct, but genuinely authentic and, fluent in a professional setting? And how can a resource like this work as a shortcut, not just for words, but for understanding those subtle social cues in the office? Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah, what's really interesting here, I think, is we're not just looking at what Office English is. We're also looking at how this kind of practical, nuanced knowledge gets distilled. How it's delivered to someone who needs to get up to speed fast. And that brings up a really key question right off the bat.
Yeah.
What actually makes communication feel real or natural in like a professional context?
Yeah.
Beyond just the words themselves. And why is that stuff so crucial if you want to navigate the workplace well?
Exactly. The material jumps right in, painting a picture of office life, emails, meetings, projects, all that stuff. And it highlights these casual phrases native speakers use. It's fluency tips, the whole goal being to help you sound natural, but also professional and friendly. And that phrase itself caught my eye. Natural, but professional and friendly. That's quite a balance to strike, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It really is. If you think about the bigger picture, it's so much more than just like memorizing vocabulary. It's about understanding the pragmatics, right?
Yeah.
How language is actually used in specific social situations to get things done. Mastering these little nuances means you're decoding the unwritten rules of interacting professionally. You're moving past just knowing definitions into actually applying the language effectively.
Okay, so let's dive into those core expressions the script focuses on. Because, yeah, they do reveal a lot about these unwritten rules. First one, I'm swamped. The material cleverly points out how it sounds maybe a bit informal, but the meaning is clear. I'm really busy, or you've got a lot on your plate. It says you use it when you're maybe behind on work, or things just keep piling up, like, I can't talk right now, I'm swamped with emails, or maybe this week is crazy, I'm totally swamped.
Yeah, and swamped is a perfect example of how Office English often leans on these idiomatic expressions, phrases you can't just translate word for word. But it's more than just the meaning. I'm swamped performs a kind of social function too. It signals a specific level of busyness, often implying you're really overwhelmed, which helps manage expectations with colleagues, doesn't it? It's like a softer way of saying, I'm not ignoring you, I'm just buried right now.
That's a really good point. It communicates your situation without sounding, abrupt or dismissive. Okay, so building on that, the next phrase they cover is catch up. This one seems pretty versatile. According to the source, it can mean to get updated or, talk about what's happening, like, let's catch up on the project this afternoon, or I need to catch up with Tom about the sales report. Makes sense. But then it also has this second meaning, to finish work that you've missed. Maybe like, I was out sick, so I need to catch up on emails.
Right, and this really brings up that idea of polysemy, where one word or phrase has multiple related meanings. Catch up is a classic example. The context completely dictates how you understand it. Being able to recognize that flexibility is so key for navigating office talk smoothly. That's like a verbal shorthand, saves time, implies a bit of familiarity, which is super common in professional settings. It's just efficient.
Yeah, it's a linguistic shortcut, exactly. Okay, and then the third one they highlight is give someone a heads up. This means basically to warn someone or just let them know about something in advance. The examples they give are things like, just wanted to give you a heads up, the client might call today, or maybe, can you give me a heads up before the meeting starts? The source calls it a polite way to prepare someone, especially if something unexpected or urgent might happen. It's basically saying, hey, I'm telling you this now so you're not caught off guard later.
And this phrase really highlights how important proactive communication is in a collaborative workplace. Sharing information effectively. It's not just about dumping information, it's about anticipating what others might need, helping things run smoothly, and just showing consideration for your colleagues. It really helps build that sense of teamwork and mutual support, I think.
Definitely. Okay, so the material then gives this great little sample dialogue. It's between two coworkers, Dan and Priya. And it really shows these phrases in action, like in a natural flow. So Dan says, hey, Priya, got a sec?
Which is short for, do you have a second?
Right. Very casual.
Exactly. And Priya replies, Hmm, not really. I'm swamped right now. Can we catch up after lunch?
Perfect use of swamped and offering an alternative.
Right. Then Dan says, totally. Just wanted to give you a heads up. The Johnson file got updated this morning.
Quick essential info share.
Yeah. And Priya. Oh, okay, thanks. Let's go over it later, Dan. Sounds good. I'll ping you around too.
Ah, there's the pin. Yep. And Priya finishes with, perfect. Oh.
Hmm.
What's so good about this, I think, is how smoothly these phrases fit in. Like you said, Priya uses swamped, but immediately offers catch up after lunch. That's really skillful, isn't it? Polite boundary setting and rescheduling, all super quick.
Totally.
And Dan's just wanted to give you a heads up. It's not just a warning. It's like this efficient way to pass on important, maybe time-sensitive info without needing a whole conversation right then.
Exactly. This dialogue isn't just teaching words. It's like a mini lesson in office interaction, in the actual discourse. You see how they negotiate time, share info quickly, confirm the next steps. And yeah, that bonus phrase, I'll ping you, really shows how office communication is evolving, especially with tech.
Ping. Yeah, that word is everywhere now, isn't it? The source notes, it just means I'll message you. Calls it a casual modern work phrase for email or chat. Definitely more common than thinking about submarines these days.
It really is. Ping is a great example of language adapting to new tools and work cultures. It reflects that sort of informality and immediacy of digital platforms in offices now. It's short, efficient. Everyone in that context gets it. It also signals a bit of a shift in register, from maybe more formal memos to this quicker, more conversational style, especially in chat.
Right. So this learning material also has a fluency builder section. I thought this was particularly useful for, well, for you, the listener, on your learning journey. It puts basic phrases right next to the more natural ones, makes the difference really clear. Like I'm very busy becomes I'm swamped, let's talk later becomes let's catch up later.
Yep.
I want to inform you, turns into just giving you a heads up.
Much friendlier.
Totally.
Yeah.
I will send you a message becomes I'll ping you. And do you have a moment to talk becomes the very common got a sec. The script even suggests saying, can we catch up later today? Out loud, just to feel how, quote, short, simple, friendly, and natural it sounds. So what does making this contrast so explicit tell us about that journey? From just being grammatically right to actually sounding fluent and fitting in, culturally speaking?
Well, this fluency builder approach really gets at something crucial in language learning. It's not just about knowing what a word means. You have to understand the feel of it, the social weight it carries, and if it's actually appropriate for the situation. It's about mastering the register, right? The specific way language gets used in a particular social setting, like the office. Choosing I'm swamped instead of just I'm very busy isn't just about sounding cooler or something. It signals that you kind of get the professional culture, which often values efficiency and these subtle ways of communicating. And it really pushes for active use, which we know is key for making knowledge stick and being able to actually use it.
Yeah, active use. And the practice tips they give seem really practical, too. Things like actually using the phrases in work emails or chats, or watching English language office shows. They mention The Office or Suits specifically to spot these kinds of expressions being used.
Oh yeah, observation is huge.
And creating your own little dialogues, even recording yourself maybe, just to build confidence. It's definitely pushing beyond just memorization.
Exactly. These tips really drive home that learning language is an active thing. It's immersive, and it involves a lot of observation. You need to engage with the language in different ways, watching it, listening to it, and then trying it out yourself. That deepens your understanding way more than just passively reading definitions. You're not just learning isolated words. You're learning the whole kind of discourse community of that particular office environment. And sometimes, yeah, the best way to get those nuances is to see them play out, like on TV, or just being brave enough to try them yourself and maybe adjust as you go.
Okay, so we've done a pretty deep dive here into this idea of real English for work situations. We've unpacked the power and also the subtle social meanings behind phrases like I'm swamped, catch up, give a heads up, and that very modern one, ping someone. And we've seen how a well-designed learning resource can potentially shortcut your path to sounding, natural and confident, not just grammatically correct in those day-to-day office chats.
This whole exploration really underlines that workplace language is so much more than just exchanging factual information, isn't it? It's this really sophisticated tool we use for building relationships, managing people's expectations, negotiating our time, navigating all those complex social dynamics efficiently. Getting a handle on these real English phrases is fundamentally about understanding those subtle but really powerful undercurrents of professional communication. And mastering that can genuinely boost your effectiveness and impact.
So, as you head into your next meeting, or maybe when you're writing your next email, or even just grabbing coffee with a colleague, here's something to think about. How might mastering these seemingly small, everyday expressions actually unlock bigger opportunities for you? Opportunities for better connection, clearer communication, maybe even greater influence in your professional life. What new layers of communication are just waiting there for you to discover simply by shifting your language towards these more natural, authentic patterns?